What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. It's MightyFan time, and today's vid is a reply to Mr. BB, Mr. Big Baby, his challenge. His challenge was, um, what professional athlete would you think that you would have been able to be good friends with? Would you have been able to make good friends with if you had the chance? And his was Shaq, of course, Shaquille O'Neal. Very good choice there. And I'm going with a guy who's a little similar as far as personality goes. He is a player who played a bit of time here in Philadelphia. And of course, speaking of Philadelphia, I got my Mitchell and Ness Allen Iverson rookie year alternate Phila jersey on. Really sweet jersey. One of the pickups from the Super Bowl sale this year at Mitchell and Ness, and I know quite a few of you have this jersey. Some of you have the older run, and I know others have the one I have, which is the newer made in China. I know Grape Ape just picked one up semi-recently, so definitely a jersey, whether you have this or the Soul Swingman version of it, definitely a jersey I think everyone should have, because it's very sweet and very patriotic too. Speaking of that, I hope all of you had for those of you in the USA who celebrate it. I know we have some international viewers here, and Jersey heads out there, so I want to be fair to everyone, but hope my fellow American Jersey heads had a wonderful 4th of July holiday. Mine was very nice, but it was very hot here in the Northeast, and I don't do well in the heat. I don't do well in the cold either. I'm more of a fall, kind of early spring kind of guy. The rest of the time, I'm not a good weather person. I know, and I live in the Northeast, right? But it could be worse. But anyhow, I hope everyone enjoyed Independence Day here in America. July 4th, of course, is pretty big deal here in Philly, too. Which, by the way, I was saying this to a coworker today, and I don't understand it. The Washington Nationals get to play at home every year on the 4th of July. Every year. It's like the early game. It's like a big deal, the Nationals are at home, Washington, everything, America's capital and everything like that, which is all well and good. There's nothing wrong in that. But my question is, why don't the Phillies get the home game too? I mean, it's Philadelphia. When you think about July 4th, of course, you think about the country in a whole, but it all happened here. The Declaration of Independence, all that good stuff, here, not Washington, here, Philadelphia. The Phillies should always get the home game, too, on July 4th. Come on, MLB, let's go. But hey, I know, it's not fair that, all teams, don't get the home games on the July 4th, but in Philadelphia, I think the Phillies should have it should be a tradition just like it's in Washington. The Phillies should always play at home on July 4th. I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say. But anyhow, not that I'm complaining that the Nationals get the home game, but it's like a big deal and an event and everything, and it's like, well, all that stuff was kind of signed here. Not Washington, but, whatever. That's where the president stays now, so. But anyhow, I just thought that was interesting because I was watching a bit of that game on July 4th with the Nationals and the Brewers on MLB Network, and the commentators there were saying, yeah, it's really nice we get to be at home every year for the July 4th game. And I'm like, the Phillies should get the July 4th game too. Come on. Nitpicking. I know, nitpicking. Anyhow, I've gone on for over a minute about that. But anyhow, the main purpose of this video is, of course, a reply to Big Baby's challenge. And as I was saying, my player that I'm picking did spend a bit of time his career here in Philly, though it started in Chicago, and I believe it ended in San Jose. But a very recognizable person. He now does commentary on the NHL Network, on, there too, but NBC Sports Network, and of course I speak of Jeremy Roenick, one of the more outgoing, bubbly personalities you'll find in any sport, but particularly hockey, where he entertained people for many years. Played most of his career with the Blackhawks and also with the Phoenix Coyotes. Came here for the Flyers, Had some pretty memorable seasons here with the Flyers. Had a really good career as a Flyer too. In fact, he came back for the alumni game when the Flyers played the Rangers alumni in the Winter Classic a few years ago. He's always been a fan favorite, and Flyer fans always have a nice spot in our hearts for him. Although Maple Leafs fans don't really like him too much because he ended their season one year as a Flyer in the overtime series-winning goal in Toronto. Sorry about that, hometown Fizz, but you still got Joe Carter. But anyhow, but Jeremy Roenick, a great player and a great personality. And the only JR jersey that I own is the one that I'm about to show right now, and it's an original Phoenix Coyotes jersey. This was their original jersey, and this is an old starter replica that I got many years ago from Value City department stores when they bought out all the starter gear at the time. I only wish I bought more hockey jerseys back then. They didn't have as many player jerseys. They had mostly blank ones, but I still wish I got more than this is the only one that I got. The rest I got was all football back then. But here it is. Yep, the full Coyote there. It's such a colorful jersey too. It's a really nice one. I think anyone who collects hockey jerseys needs to get one of these old Coyotes jerseys at some point because it definitely was a head turner back then. And I remember these very well. And most people had a Keith Tkachuk jersey, number 7, or a JR jersey. And I got the JR jersey. I believe he was still a Coyote at the time when I got this, but they were kind of going through their phase where they were going to their other designs and such. But this is probably my all-time favorite Coyotes jersey, just because I really like that big cartoon Coyote on the front of it. It's just really cool with the half mask going there, the half Jason mask. So, and on the back, it's got the Roenick 97, and it's got the Coyotes on the sleeves, the logo with the moon, the crescent moon. Very cool there. Very colorful jersey. So much going on in this jersey. As you see the pattern going around, and that Southwest type design pattern. Really cool. Very, very cool jersey. Love the overall look of it. Love that pattern and everything going around it. Lots of stuff going on in this jersey. And yes, I do have a decent collection of hockey jerseys. At some point, I'll have to revisit showing them all again in a future vid. But this is my JR Jeremy Roenick starter replica. It's the jock tag right there. And yeah, JR would be my choice of the player who I think I could have been good friends with as far as an athlete goes. Because he just, I like to consider myself having a bit of an outgoing personality, and find humor in a lot of things and such like that. And so is JR. He's a very just friendly person, and just always seemingly very outgoing and helpful to others and such, and just has a good sense of humor about things, and also so JR would be my pick for the player athlete who I would consider myself to, if I ever had a chance to be friends with some, it would probably be JR. And he likes to communicate like me. So yeah. So Jeremy Roenick is my choice. Like I said, I mainly, saw his career when he was here in Philly, but I certainly remember his days with the Coyotes. I was not as into hockey when I was young, so I really didn't, follow him with the Blackhawks, but I do, I've seen a lot of footage and such from him back then. And of course, he ended his career with the Sharks. He had a little time with the Kings too, if I remember correct. And he had a long career, and he played through a lot of injuries too. So he was one of those warrior type players that you had to respect the way he played. And certainly, he had some great years here in Philly. I remember one of the first things he did when he came here is his first game in Philadelphia was, I believe, on Halloween, and he came out on the ice with a big blonde wig, dressing up as Bobby Clark. for Halloween. Of course, at the time, Bobby Clark was the GM of the Flyers and brought him in, and it was like it was cool because JR really embraced Philadelphia. He really embraced the Philadelphia fan, and he hugged Ed Snyder and Bobby Clark when he first came here and put the jersey on, and he said he said he has so much he has so much respect for the organization, as they say in hockey, and all. And it meant a lot to him to wear the Flyer jersey and to be a Flyer. And he was really what a Flyer should be. He was the type of player that Philly fans really respect. The way he played, the way he gutted out games. That's the way we love our players here in Philly. So he certainly was a Flyer through and through. And it's a shame he could never win a cup here, and he never won a cup anywhere. But he had some really good years. Like I said, he had a great playoff run. Couple years when he was here. I believe he was on the team that lost to Tampa Bay in the Eastern Finals that one year when it went to Game 7, before the Lightning won the cup. And I believe he was on a team that lost to the Devils in the Eastern Finals. So he had some really good years, and they had some good years when he was here too. But as far as the friendship personality, goes, that for me to be, to have considered him like a friend, if I were to have a friend that was an athlete, I would go with him because personality-wise, he just seems like a cool guy to hang out with, And I like hanging out with my friends and doing stuff with friends and being goofy. And also, I definitely can see him as the type of guy that, I'd want to hang out with and, watch some games with or whatever. The type of stuff I do with my friends today. Like Mark. Shout out to Mark. And like you guys. Hey, I wish all of you guys lived close to me so we can all hang out and do stuff. But anyhow, that would be my pick. Jeremy Roenick, for my athlete that I would, if I ever had a chance to be friends with an athlete, it would be JR, I would imagine. But anyhow, Big Baby, big shout out to you. Great challenge by you. Very thoughtful challenge, too. I know sometimes it can be tough to come up with these challenges, and you've all done a great job with them, and I always look forward to them. I think it's great because it helps bring the community together even more and learn a little more about one another. I mean, that's kind of what this is all about as well, not just showing off what we have, but, doing some other stuff, together as a group and all, and it's always a good time. So shout out to you for the challenge, Big Baby, holding it down in the Motor City. Detroit's Jersey King right there. And, great stuff. Good to see you getting some Philadelphia stuff now, too. With the Phillies jerseys and the Wilt jerseys and all, it's great to see. And I know you have some Eagles jerseys. Gotta get a Flyers jersey, though. Gotta do that. I don't know if you really collect hockey too much, but they're really good jerseys. And I enjoy collecting them because you get so many wild designs on them, like you saw on the Phoenix Coyotes jersey. There's so many others out there. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jason, a.k.a. New Jerk. Just started posting his vids again. It's been a while, but it's good to see him again. And yes, you are correct there, Jason. I do collect these hockey jerseys. I have a decent-sized collection. And like I said, at some point I'll revisit showing them. I know it's been a while since I've shown them. So at some point, maybe when it's a little less hot, I'll make a couple videos, showing the collection and, kind of revisiting that. Because I know I did that with baseball last year. I did that with football. I've been doing that with basketball. I mean, you guys see the vault. And whenever I film up there, it's too hot up there. There's no way. Are you kidding me? I would completely melt. I would be a puddle on the ground if I tried to film up there today. Oh, my. But, I do show those, but I've been remiss. I haven't really shown the hockey collection too much since years ago. So I'll probably revisit that again at some point for all the hockey heads out there. So anyhow, and you stay classy, Canada. But anyhow, as always, big shouts to all my subscribers, all my fellow Jersey heads, the Kings of Throwbacks group, all the groups on Facebook. Of course, the Big Baby once again for the challenge. All my family, all my friends, anyone I'm forgetting, fellow DeviantArt members, of course, anyone I'm forgetting, a big shouts to all of you. And until my next video, as I always say, this is MightyFan's saying peace. I will see you in that next video. Okay, everyone. Bye.